Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm going to hop into the hourly rapid arena and play 3 games. 10 plus 0, time control. We'll see who we get in game 1. Okay, here we go. Let's try e4. e4, e5. All right, how about the bishop's opening? Why not? With the simple d3. d5, computer move. Getting rid of my biggest pawn. Yeah, I don't really have anything better than to capture if d5 is there. Okay, supporting d5. They want to maintain a pawn on d5, I'm guessing. Alrighty, I'm thinking about this one. Since this knight doesn't have access to c6 to conveniently defend the pawn. Now, after knight f3, d5, my plan is to back off. And in the event of a capture, this would in fact be a blunder because of queen a5, but this one here, this one capture, I do have knight g5, and there's a problem there. So I'm leaning towards this one. Either knight move, really. I'll go with knight f3. Focus on the king side development. Yeah, I'm going to back off. So we'll see. Again, this would be poison if I take there after the capture here. If I was already castled here, I'm definitely taking here. Why not? Grab a pawn and I'm once more on my way to that vulnerable f7 point. So here I am in a pin. Let's see. If I play h3, what's that bishop going to do? Let's see. Maybe after the h3 move, capture on e4. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind if that happened. h3 h3 takes the capture here. Yeah, okay. I don't think that would be a good idea to take on e4. So h3 here. And then I could play g4. And if the bishop moves again, I'm getting this pawn. So I believe after h3, they're forced into taking my knight. Otherwise, I think I could safely pick up the e5 pawn. So I'm going to go for that. Question the bishop. Why not? Okay. Definitely recapturing with a piece. I got the unopposed light square bishop. 3 pieces on this. Oh, okay. It's nearly mate. This seems a little wild, but is there, in fact, a pretty decent point to it? Just ready to kick the knight and go in for mate on f7 now that this bishop's eyes have been opened up. Try and do something against this square quickly. And also okay, let's say g4, h6, h4, g5. Takes. Could be kind of interesting too. I don't have to play it that way. Another move I could consider here is queen g3. G3 with this idea, but I do have to watch out for an irritating knight h5 move. You know what? I'll give this a roll. A spin. g5. I think it's worthwhile to flick in this one. If not h6, the queen move to this square is probably the way. Staying off of these two squares so that not interfering with the minors, yeah. That's very sensible. Oh, you know what? Now, I'm revisiting this idea of queen g3. I was thinking just a moment ago that knight h5 can be irritating, but now that I have g4 in, queen g3 with an f4 seems pretty nice. Okay. Also just piece play, something like this. I know it's many moves in a row. But, boy, if that knight gets right here, it seems to be, especially with black not having a light square bishop, probably going to be a super irritating piece. So I'm going to, after all this, I'm leaning towards piece play. I'm not thinking so much about f4 just yet. One thing I want to be careful of is a situation where maybe the dark square bishops are exchanged and let's say another knight, and this guy ends up here against this light square bishop. That would be too strong a position for black, I feel. A blockading square here. So I want to be a bit careful about opening this square up in short for one of black's knights. First things first, how to defend e5. That seems sensible. I'm going to continue on with this. I mean, where else with that queen knight? With this pawn covering its favorite square. And I guess now that h6 is in, this makes black think twice. I'll go here. Makes black think twice about castling kingside because I am now a moment away from getting a break in. So there is this question for black, where does that king belong? Okay, I was thinking for a half second this could maybe be moved, but now it would just end up, a very temporary post here. This is secure, that happens, and then I have to return, so let's continue on this path. Also, with this pawn extended like this, if the king goes queenside, maybe I could pry open the b file. Okay, so this is now all the more appealing. I'm guessing if I play here, g6 will be flicked in. Okay. Does that mean I shouldn't play it? My knight's just going to be clumsy? Yeah, I'm thinking my opponent's going to go queenside. Doesn't seem so bad inserting that g6 move. Huh. This one here. I'm once more concerned about if I play this move. That square opening up. I think black has a good position. Very solid. And I'm concerned about castling queenside, some sacrifice here. Alright, I'll still flick this in. I might just end up returning with my knight. Surprised g6 hasn't been played. I don't believe black can allow the knight to hop in there. That should definitely not be allowed. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to return. Was it worthwhile? Can't say for sure. At least by provoking this move, there is a restriction on this rook. And I have another square for my bishop. Maybe I still do go queenside. Would that sacrifice really be working out? It is just the queen in the end. Yeah, I mean, I think I want to go queenside. Where's the pawn? Maybe even... I wonder about this idea. Yeah, I don't think I want to commit to the queenside. And after this move, I'm definitely not going to castle kingside. I'm just seeing now that this knight is maybe angling for this square. You have a bishop around to knock it out. We'll see. A bit behind on the clock. I'm guessing the knight is eyeing up one of these two. Would seem to be a very temporary pit stop here on e8. Okay. And there we go. You know what? I'm going to go another step. I'm not sure if I'm gaining a whole lot playing like this. I think black should sit. This pawn advances. It's time sent. It takes many moves, but I will eventually be able to get to that f5 square. Oh, I think that's a serious positional concession. So I think I should be quick to get to this square. And I may want to, I think I'm going to have to work around a knight on this square for a second or two. But with such a locked position, I think I should be able to get these moves in. So, kind of liking my position now that this move is in there. 1, 2, let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves, but not sure how black stirs up trouble. Still have an eye on this square. I mean, no way that could be working out. Like queen here, maybe looking for this, targeting these two. I could still castle. Now, this is a reason why maybe I would want to have my queen on f3 first before playing knight to f1. Queen f3 so that knight f1 and then g3 happens really quick, and then I'm just a moment away from castling to connect rooks. Although, I could also just not castle. King to e1 seems sensible. Yeah, maybe this is the appropriate home for my king. I imagine, no, I don't like e2, because this knight's going to come here with check. Okay. Move order, I think queen f3 and then this. All right, at the end of the day, the knight's going there. Let's go with this one here. Both knights are focused on this square. So even if my knight is challenged on this point, yeah, I mean, I could take with a pawn. I think I'd be leaning towards taking with the piece first. I do have a check, but I don't see any follow-up. Oh, and also I'm threatening a pawn right now. Okay. It's blocked. Knight's going to hop in here. There is some coordination on this square. Once the knight is on f4, we're even on the clock. g3, knight f5. I honestly don't know what path I would have taken if this pawn would have just stayed on g6. I'd still be fishing for a plan. This is a purely positional idea at this stage, these last handful of moves. Put the knight on the weak square. Remain flexible with my king. I still have the bishop pair. Okay, let's get there. This knight isn't scaring me from castling kingside. If I castle kingside, I think I'd want my king on h2 away from any knight checks. And I think I'll be diving into f5 first. See what black comes up with. I should still keep in mind that I could win this f-pawn in some cases. Also with my knight on f5, there's going to be a restriction on that rook, which is definitely uncomfortable for black. Major piece defending against minor piece pressure, usually an inconvenience. Creates an imbalance elsewhere in the position. Like if the queen side opens up and the white rooks both become active on the queen side, that's when it really starts to show up as an inconvenience for black. So clearly struggling to find a move here. I'm not sure what black should do. I mean, if I can make many moves in a row, I'm dropping the knight there. Castle, king h2. Another detail, maybe this is the deeper point I should be making, is that with this king side so locked, and it being an opposite side's castle's position, there's no way to really get at the white king. So drop a knight, queenside castles, put the rook here and shoot for b3 or b4. I want to be careful about playing b3 too soon because of the captures. At this point, collapsing. Yeah, my opponent's really in the tank. Yeah, I just don't see a good way forward for my opponent. I think I may end up carrying on with these exact moves. I could live with this knight being here. Let's hop in. Yep. Queenside castles here just to duck any silly knight checks. These are kind of redundant. So now I don't even have to move the rook here before playing this break. And I definitely don't want to take the knight because this move is going to be there. I could maybe consider this, although I don't see a reason to invite c5 with tempo. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, I think before even putting the rook on the b file, let's create this tension. See how black commits. Okay. Now I'm looking at this knight here. I could consider this one. I don't think I even want to take this knight ever, really. I think I could just play around it. Okay, knight's challenged. All right, so this is where, yeah, I think I don't want to see the structure change. So here's the thing. If I allow this capture and I have to take with this, then this guy could spring to life. Or if this here, this is a possible break. I think easiest is to just take the knight. Although I guess in some cases I have to be careful of f5 break after a capture or push. But this seems to be hitting really fast. This a4 takes and the rook heading to the a file. All right, well, let's start with taking the knight and prying open the a file. I know this is almost certainly going to be a time win, but I'm still trying to play best moves. I think my opponents are managing to defend pretty well here. I don't think I want to allow a rook exchange, so let's double first. And let's get to the most active rank. And, well, my queen. I could look to get my queen active. To be careful of maybe queen f6 and a knight move. All right, how about I start with this one? Some pressure on this pawn. We're in a pretty big pickle. Oh, the light squares have just opened up. Also, this square for my bishop. Okay. Where is the knockout? Oh, also, forget about queen f6 move. I think I could just maneuver my queen like this, and there isn't really much that could be done here. These rooks are taking away so many squares. And where's the knockout? I mean, I could take the pawn too. This guy. And that seems pretty good. Threatening to get to the back rank now. Yeah, this one's pretty much busted. Queen exchange. I mean, I guess I could allow. Oh, yeah, I'll just go for the queen exchange. Yeah. Probably not the cleanest way to do it, but yeah, and just going into pre-move mode. Not sure about those last couple of moves I played, but okay. I was given a clear plan. once the f5 hole was created. Let's see who we get in game 2. Okay, here we are. Let's try a Sicilian. Now, I said at the start I was going to play 3 games. It may be just 2. There's only 22 minutes left in the tournament. Alrighty. You going after this guy? I'm not afraid. Knight here, e6, no problems. Alrighty. It's a very conservative start by my opponent. Do I want to play here, or go with a fianchetto? These are all reasonable options. I don't want to play this with this guy here and create a hole. Yeah, this would be poorest of all. I feel they could start thinking about eliminating a knight, focusing on this square. Not too quick to give or to create a big weakness. So I guess I could maintain an option here. It seems most flexible. So this one or this one, all right? Also this move. Maybe g6 there. I'm prepared to give up bishop for knight. Dragon structure. Or something like this. Yeah, I'll go with that. Something a bit more solid. This is nearby. That move, not really concerned about the pin. I was going to go here anyhow. And so it's not an inconvenience, the pin whatsoever. In fact, I think it slightly backfires on white because I get in a healthy h6 move with tempo. I get my flight square in there. I'll just castle here. And now maybe I'm looking at tracking down the light square bishop. So if I did it one move sooner, there is a bishop check. Maybe I block. We exchange light square bishops, but nearby there is a minor piece imbalance potentially now. Okay, so I have that option. I'll just try for that. And yeah, there's no way to really avoid it. Here I get valuable tempi in there. Okay. So now I am in a position to get this exchange in. I'm just questioning the timing. I don't think now is the most appropriate time to take. In a way, one thing I may be saying here by delaying this capture is that you can't get this central break in. Because d4, I have c4, and the bishop will eventually be trapped. Okay, now that that move is in, definitely the moment to take. White has to take away from the center. So this, because of this last capture, this becomes a hole. Can I take advantage of that? Not really seeing a way to do that. What I do want to do here is put my unopposed light square bishop to work. And this is the best way to do it. I had 2 ways to get on the diagonal. Posting to b7 or c6, but this is the better one. Because I squeeze a little bit more, I get some more space with b5, and then put the bishop here. Additionally, the bishop will be less accessible to a knight when it's on b7 compared to c6. I went for that one. Here takes, knight takes is an example where the bishop will be vulnerable. So best to work from afar. Also, if this break is in there, the c file opens up. Minor pieces typically, well, yeah, I don't think the bishop would be feeling so comfortable there. I don't have much choice here. I don't want to budge with my knight. Not too concerned about inviting this knight into my house. I could tame it, cover this square, and now this is definitely a sensitive point. And if white tries to kind of block that diagonal with this construction, then that creates some serious gaps. Maybe I could take advantage of g3 or e3 if f3 is in there. Additionally, this pawn is half dead. Half open file. No pawns around anymore to support it. This guy pulled away. I like my position. I'm thinking about h6. Maybe the queen stepping up to one of these two. I'd prefer to move this rook to the d file if I'm going to move a rook. Because maybe there's some accident happening on f7. Okay. That's interesting. A voluntary bishop retreat. Wonder why. Why that one? All right, I'm going to start out with this and see what white does. Bishop here, I could play this one. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that. I don't see anything wrong with it. Definitely don't want to allow the knight to move and have that undiscovered attack against my queen. So how to defend the knight? Okay, that one. I did not consider that at all. It's a very interesting move. Interesting. If I take here, I mean, do I want to allow my f pawns to be doubled? Oh, you know what? If I take here, I mean, here takes. There's a queen check to defend there. All right, you know, I'm thinking maybe just knight to d5. Knight d5. Maybe just take the knight and keep the tension between the bishops. It's a very interesting move. I'm not sure what's best here. One thing that's keeping me from this is some knight move here, and I'm sensing some pressure against c5. So I should really be pointing that out. Really don't want to be too quick to mask my bishop's eyes to the e4 square. Gotta come up with a move. Really struggling here to see the way. Let me revisit this one. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen check. King here. Gotta recapture on that square. If that g file opens up, this would be really dangerous. I think it's working out. Here, queen takes. I'm threatening mate. I'm going to say I could get away with taking the bishop and allowing my f-pawns to be doubled and allow the check here on g4. Yeah, only move. So on pawn takes, I have this one, and then I'm here. Yeah, this could be really dangerous. Okay, so I'm guessing the queens are going to be off shortly. Let's get this one in. Oh, you know, I'm just seeing now maybe queen f4 is a move. I could still take. Okay, queen takes. Yeah, queen takes. Okay, this would actually maybe be funny. It's not quite working. All right, let's exchange queens. Gotta take with the rook. 100%. There's going to be some windmill action. Some windmill action. All right, so here takes here, boom. And then maybe I hang on for a second and play king here. Just play up a pawn. Yeah, I'll go in for that. I got to pick up the pace here. Maybe some other move is played. They go into babysitter mode. Yeah, babysitter mode. Okay, hang on. I could increase the pressure though. Yeah, that's collapsing, isn't it? Or, you know what? I think I like this idea best. I don't want to see knight e4. I was thinking this one, knight here, takes here. Okay, I'm up a pawn. This one's still ready to fall. I have this as a move as well. I don't see any reason not to increase the pressure on g2 first. Rook g1, have to crawl up into a ball. No, get this weak pawn. Knight here, I have rook d2. They're in a pin. Yeah, very controlled position, up 2 pawns. Down on the clock, but this should still be enough. King here, b mate 1. Not sure what White's going to come up with. Possibly g5. Did I take this pawn too soon? I gotta give a pawn away. Play b4. Be inviting the knight into this square. Oh, it's offering a rook exchange. Okay. Guess I'll take. Get to the file. Improve my king so that even if this is in there, I could take and don't have to worry about this pawn falling. The knight is under control. It's mainly what my eye is looking at now. Where's that knight going to go to bother me? Where's a healthy square if I could just pick that knight up and put him wherever? Where's a good square? Maybe here. Okay, here every forward move for the knight is under control. Let's improve the king. It's an ending. Checking distance. It's not a good move. There is one check in the position. No checks for me. Not a bad idea. Checking the checks. This was also a move. Too realistic. Maybe I should have done that. All right, let's do it now. Take there. Boom, boom. I'm on that one. First of all, where to go with the knight? All right, I think I go in for the kill here. Yeah, just Pac-Man mode. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Or even f4, scaring the knight from this pawn. That rook is here. There's going to be a follow-up discovered check, which should almost certainly be deadly. All right, that move. There's a check here. Let's just save this pawn. Limit the rook activity here. Okay, what was I saying about that knight getting to f4? It is on f4, but it's not connected with any other piece. Check, I could improve my king. Block with my bishop. Plenty of approaches here. You just start with putting the rook here. Cut out a knight move. Stop the rook from getting to a file. And let me flush this knight back for just a second. Okay, I'll go here. I don't mind going into a pin. Maintain a strong king position. This is a way forward. Kind of slow, but it's slow and steady progress. Let's see. I don't have any recommendations here for Team White. Yeah, I'm just up the material. All right. Yeah, I'll go into the pin just so I can maintain the king position. And seems like a fine approach. put the majority to work. Bishop is supporting the pawn once it's on c2. Yeah, I'll take with the pawn. Got a passer. Could keep going here. Rook d2 is nearby. Even if I lose the pawn. No, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll still go here. Give up a pawn. Okay, one thing I don't, okay. Gonna highlight a variation where I could hang a rook. Just don't hang the rook. You'll be all right. I'm gonna hang on to my e4 pawn. I don't know. This may be the last game. I'm not sure when the cutoff is for the tournament pairings. Yeah. Connected passer. Even on the clock. I hope to be able to get one more in. We'll see. Let's just freeze this guy. Prefer to see a king move first before I make a commitment with my king. What's the plan from here? Take pawns. I'm leaning towards this one. Okay. We're gonna get another pairing? Okay. Maybe we get, okay, we do get one more. Let's try c4. Final game. A berserk. I'm not berserking back. All right, let's see how white responds to this. Okay, so I have a big center now. And I could play d5 whenever I want now and drive this knight away. It's just a question of when. Nearby black may be angling for this one, so maybe now I push. Here, push again. You know, I'll play a little bit aggressive here. Let's go with the f pawn. I think they might have been angling for that one. Okay. Queen here could be a move. They're on this point 3 times. I push now. Queen here, and the queen has to go back home. A check. I have a bishop block. I'll just develop the knight. Or, no, you know what? I'll play this right now. I'm a little concerned about knight f3, maybe bishop g4. Knight here. I think I'll just kick. Yeah, let's kick this knight before there's some kind of coordination, although I do have e4 to kick the bishop back. So now this knight has to go to the edge. I think my opponent, okay, they are still around. It said they disconnected for a second. I mean, it feels like this is already a winning position for me. Knight here. Queen here, it's short-lived. I get out of the pin, I'm back on threatening. All right. So I have space. If I develop this knight, which feels like the most natural move, there is this. It'll still be good for white. But I'm not going to allow that option so easily. Let's advance in the center. Okay, going with the fianchetto. I'll play here. It's sort of weakening. I don't mind the doubled C pawns. Okay, I'm also gonna flick this one in. I know, making a lot of pawn moves. I don't want to see this focus on these 2 squares, so this is really a defensive move. I'm not doing this to rush in with g5. Okay. Where does my bishop belong? I think I want to keep it trained here. This is one of the pawn breaks. I could play this one, but I prefer to get some more development in before going for this break. Kingside castle? I mean, I don't know if I even want to go kingside castles. A sacrifice here I'm not concerned about. Queen e2, bishop d2, maybe queenside castles. I'm leaning more towards, leaning more towards bishop d2 than e3 to provide some defense over my c3 knight. And also in the event that the e file opens up, I don't want my bishop on this square here. All right, so that just seems to be a pretty clean pawn. Yeah, I'll take with the pawn. You're looking at this and then here. Wow. Fancy, fancy. Okay. I'll just back off. The knight does get to a good square. This is all of a sudden a best piece for black. I'm taming the knight. Now I'm thinking more about bishop e3. I am at least now targeting a piece. Opponent's having connection issues, it seems. They're in the dark again. Tournament clock is nearly wrapping up. Are they down for the count here? Yeah, they might just be down for the count. I could claim victory in 55 seconds. Let's see. Oh, they are back in the green. All right, that's very sensible. Okay. I was thinking this initially, but yeah, like this. I am coordinated on this square. It's I'm in a way taking advantage of this c4 move. c4 no longer defended. Excellent coordination here. I could hop in right now. I think I'll do that. Or just castle. Maybe h5. Yeah, I'll hop in there. This with that. Queen d4, hitting the rook. Let's take like this. I don't want to allow rook takes b2. I have connected passer. Get broken down. Not so sure I'm playing this in the cleanest way, to be perfectly honest. All right. So now I don't have to worry about my knight falling and this falling. Feel a bit more comfortable castling kingside now. Doing it earlier with that light square bishop still around, I was concerned about this, influencing my g pawn and the h pawn falling. All right, not the case here anymore. I could take here and then push. Or push first. Yeah, in fact, what's wrong with pushing first? I'm gonna push first. Maybe even, okay, no, on this capture the knight falls, but even if I didn't have this capture, an idea could be to meet this capture on e5 with an f5 advance. Claiming that the bishop is blocked. You don't have access to this square. Okay, so I'm just winning the piece here. Take the knight. And what next? Okay. Yeah, right here seems cool. Rook entering. Okay, no rook enter. E, e5 might be played here. Okay. This was a possibility, crashing through an f7. Nearby there's a fork. Okay. That's fancy. I guess I'll just take... Oh, I'm ready to blunder here. Maybe I could allow that. Here, this, and the fork. I'll allow it. Hmm. Yeah, I'll allow it. I'm up to peace anyhow. Let's see if they spot the tactic. Okay, they could still maybe go for it. No, not anymore though. My opponent just resigned. Okay, yeah, I was gonna go for this one in the end. Not really thrilled about this last game with how I played. I felt like it was winning very early on, but um sort of surprised that this plan was spotted to play here c4 and then c5. Um, but yeah, I was able to build up in this last one here with that. This is already sort of seems like a how to describe it, like a not too dangerous move, but I am threatening here, forming a duo, and if I can maintain that for a move, I have these ideas of establishing a pawn on my opponent's side of the board. Be very invasive. Okay, in the end, I was able to play 3. Throw good games all. All right, and that's going to do it for this video. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.